Hi, Tracy Hugelmeyer here with VintagepreneurUniversity.com, where I help vintage sellers start, grow, and scale their business on Etsy. I also own my own vintage business, Rustic Guy, that I've had on Etsy since 2013. And today I am super excited to get started with a brand new episode of Friday Feedback. And before I introduce you to our lovely volunteer seller, I first want to let you know how you can get your own free review as well. You just need to become an Etsy junkie. It's free. You can join our free Facebook group or sign up for one of my free trainings. You're an Etsy junkie, and then just let me know that you want to get your free review too. And I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. All right, so I am so excited to introduce you to Kay with Kays Vintage Ephemera. She has been selling on Etsy for just a little while and is already knocking the socks off of her Etsy shop sales. So today I hope we are all going to be able to learn some things from her, and I'm going to go ahead and jump behind the screen and get started. Okay, so here we are in Kay's shop, and as we can see, she's been on Etsy since 2018 and already has over 2,200 sales. So while the purpose of this is to give Kay a review, she's obviously doing so many things right. And when that's the case, I always recommend just keep doing the things that are working for you. Work on some new strategies, of course, work on all those things that are going to help you, but you're obviously doing a lot of things right already. So when you are finding the things that are working, just keep doing more of those things. Okay, so starting with your banner, I think it's really cute, and it captures the ephemera essence. It almost looks like this is a piece of ephemera itself. I'm not sure if that's what you did, but if so, that's super clever. And I like that you have your name right in here. I would recommend that you also put a little tagline so that there's no question, what it is that's for sale in your shop. When somebody lands on your shop, and they see this banner right away, if they don't happen to know what ephemera is, you could put something in here like specializing in vintage, greeting cards, postcards, whatever it is. Just a cute little short tagline to let people know what it is that you sell. And then the shop title, it's not bad. I would probably just change a little bit here. You want to concentrate on 2 to 3 keyword phrases for your shop, your primary keyword phrases. So what are the primary things that you are wanting to be optimized for, and put those here. You kind of have it. You probably just need to rearrange it a little bit, like vintage ephemera postcards and vintage books or something like that. Whatever your 2 top things are, or 3 if you can fit them. And it doesn't have to match your tagline, and it actually probably shouldn't match your tagline, because here you're trying to optimize, and in your tagline you're just trying to make it appeal to buyers. So your tagline should appeal to your customers, and your title right here should optimize for outside search engines like Google, because as far as we know, Etsy doesn't look at your shop title to pick out keywords, but outside search engines like Google do. And then you have a really cute logo here that ties all together. I think that's great. And you have your picture here, which I'd love to see. I would probably recommend that you choose a photo that shows more of your face here so that people can really see you and connect with you. And then I think I see a motorcycle in the background, or bike of some sort. That's super cool. I would put that in your about section, because that's kind of your, about, that's part of your story, and that's cute and cool to see too. I would probably just move that to your about section, and once you get a chance, maybe think about updating that to a closer picture of your face. And then here in your featured items, I would recommend that you, in your queue, so you have a queue for your featured items, put a few more than you need. If these are things that sell out quite frequently, you might want to put, 10 or more. I think that I don't know what the limit is to what you can put in your featured items queue, to be honest, but see what it is and just fill it up so that when something sells, you don't have that empty blank spot there. But that's an easy thing to fix. And I also love that you have Christmas items in your featured items. That's definitely what we should be concentrating on this type of year. And you do have a variety of price points here also, which is important. It's always a good idea to have a variety of price points so that you can attract more buyers that are maybe looking for the lower end price points and the higher end price points. So that's always a good strategy to have. I should clarify on that pricing point that you don't want to, I'm not saying to price your items on the low end. I just mean having a variety of items, some that are more expensive and some that are least or less expensive. So in other words, you're still making a good profit, but you have the different price points to attract somebody who might be looking at those different price points, if that makes sense. So not to underprice your items, but just to have a variation of items that fall within different price points, to clarify. One thing that I find very interesting about Kays' shop, and knowing she's having the success that she's having, and she's had a lot of that success in recent months too, since the free shipping push change, and she, it doesn't look like to me, is not offering free shipping to the US. Since I'm looking at this, in the US, I would see that if she was. So I don't see any items that she's really offering free shipping on, or the free shipping guarantee, and she's still getting sales. I know she makes a lot of she's mentioned she makes a lot of sales to the United States. So what does that tell us? That it is possible to still be successful without using the free shipping guarantee. I'm not saying, that means that you should or should not offer it. It's just kind of something to note that this is a shop that's still being successful without using the free shipping guarantee. I do have a full series of videos on kind of my thoughts and guiding you through how to make the decision for your own shop, if you should offer free shipping or not. And I will link to that for you so that you can check those out if you'd like to. And, that always comes down to your own personal business decision, and that's going to be different for everybody. I think that if Kay were to consider doing the free shipping guarantee, having that $35 price point in her shop just might help buyers to, encourage them to buy more. I don't know what her average sale is, but that's something that she can look at and see if it's something that she would want to try out to see if that helps bring her average sale up and or helps increase her view even more in search. So it's something that I'm throwing out there. And again, this always comes down to your personal business decision. So check out the videos that I have on that, and we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, this is perfect where Kay in her announcement includes some of her keywords right in the top of her announcement. That's awesome. I believe let's see if she has an about section. She does have an about section, and I do recommend that at the top of your about section, you include kind of the same thing, and for the same reasons as below, or as I mentioned earlier, where you want to optimize for those outside search engines, putting your keywords at the top of all those places is a really good idea in a natural way written for humans. And how you do that here, welcome to Kays Vintage Ephemera, specializing in, that's perfect. That's exactly how to include your keywords in a natural way written for humans. And I love seeing all these positive reviews, customer service, and shipping. That means you're making your customers happy and you are shipping promptly. And those are two things that are going to continue to serve you very, very well in your business. So keep up the excellent work there. I have to take a moment to point out how adorable these photos are. Just love them. This one especially stuck out to me. Super cute. I love how you have that. I'm wondering if this is like your office, and I just think that's really, really cute because it's probably inspiring you when you are working, and also it's it's a way to show a little peek into your life and your story, and that really is a important thing to do when you are on Etsy, because it Etsy's all about having that personal touch. And so just those little personal touches that you throw in, even those pieces of your story, go a long way with your success on Etsy. And kind of a side note, Etsy looks for those things too, when they're featuring shops. I'm not going to say that they love picking out vintage sellers, but it happens from time to time. And the more, of these about photos that you have that really show your story, they really look for that. They want to show shops and feature shops that do that. So you never know if that's something that you are interested in doing, getting featured at some point by Etsy. Having a lot of these types of insights into your story are going to help you with that. Your policies look absolutely perfect. I love that you are accepting returns, exchanges, and cancellations. That all looks good. I love how you give some insight into how the items will be posted and shipped, and that you explain that you use board-backed envelopes for posting. And I think that that's an important thing for someone to know who's buying from you, because they don't want their item to arrive bent, right? And that you say that you recycle and reuse cardboard boxes whenever possible. I think that that is perfectly acceptable, especially for vintage sellers, and being transparent about that can actually help towards your brand. I have a question here about the majority of your items don't cover tracking. I'm curious about how that works for you, because I think that tracking is a super important piece of a business in case something goes wrong. So I'm just curious, you've had a lot of sales, and I would love to know how that is going for you. Do you run into too many issues? Comment, Kay, if you get a chance, comment below and let us know, because I'm sure there are other sellers wondering as well. So I'm just really curious about how that is going for you. Okay, I'm on page 3 of Kay's items, and I just wanted to kind of talk through one thing really quickly. I love these tags. They're so adorable. So my question is, or the kind of thing I guess I'm brainstorming here out loud. So I noticed that you sell these by the piece, which is totally fine, obviously, but the low price point is what I'm questioning, because I know for myself, I sell all kinds of items, per piece. And I realized that at a lower price point, at some point, it becomes, kind of not worth my time if somebody buys one. And obviously, when you sell something like this, the goal is that they'll purchase more than one. But I'm wondering, for your lower priced items, if it would make more sense to offer them as at least maybe three at a time. So purchase 3 for $3 or something like that, or 4 for $3, or however you wanted to do it. But it's the low price point that I just wanted to point out, and maybe recommend that you try doing that as a bundle, because you want to try and keep yourself out of situations where you're going to have to now send out a package that, somebody's only paid 81 cents for. It kind of, at some point, even though hopefully those are few and far between, you still don't want to, you want to weigh that and make sure that you are at least making it worth your time and your effort. So I think that for me, I have some things that I sell for, I think the lowest price point I have is $2.50. And when I am selling them, the goal is that somebody is going to buy more than one. But I had earlier in my business, I had things priced at lower price points, and then decided, that's a little bit too low to make it worth my time if they end up just purchasing one. So that's just kind of where I'm going here. And again, I'm just brainstorming, but something that you might think about if you have the lower price points, bundling them and see how that goes for you. Or, maybe you could try it with 1 or 2 of your items and see if you like that better. And since we're here, I'll go ahead and choose this item as the item to review. So I love this first photo. I'm all about these types of kind of flat lay photos. I think it works really well for vintage ephemera. And then you get more of the detail here and show what that looks like. And you show the backs. If I were you, I would probably add another photo that maybe shows size. whether that's showing it next to a ruler or something like that. And if you are so inclined, you can also even try a stylized photo. So maybe just have like, because you have a lot of vintage ephemera, maybe have like some journals on hand that even one journal would be enough, and kind of, show it with some journaling supplies so that you can really tap into that market, and someone can look at it and be like, yeah, I need that because I really like journals, and this is speaking to me. And so anyway, that's just one thought that I have on what you could add for a photo. I think that your title for your item is perfect. Etsy is currently recommending we use 2 to 3 long tail keyword phrases, which is exactly what you have here, and covering a variety of keywords. I think this is really, really good. I also love how you have the materials so detailed that they're very keyword rich. And in case anyone is not aware, Etsy does look at materials to pick out keywords. So this is helping with your search engine optimization as well. You really pack in the keywords there, which is really, really good. Okay, so right here where you have the dimensions, I'm kind of surprised that Etsy doesn't translate this to inches for me, since I'm, looking at this from the US. They really should. They should translate that automatically. But since they don't, I would recommend, and because I know you sell a lot to US buyers, I'm not just trying to, say that you should make everything optimized for the US, but because you have a large US market, I would recommend that you put inches in your description somewhere so that somebody has those those measurements as well. And I'd love that you are putting these last dates for Christmas posting in your listings. That is so super smart. It's something that I haven't done yet, but I'm planning to do. So awesome for being on top of that. Other places you can put that is in your frequently asked questions. You can put it right in your banner. You could and should put it, as many places in your shop as you can, because that just helps buyers to make that decision without having to think about it. So they know, okay, if I buy this, I am going to get it. I have to order if I'm in Europe, I have to order by December 16th. That just makes things easier for your buyers, and they're much more likely to make that purchase because they feel comfortable doing so. Because this time of year, everybody is purchasing things for a very specific reason most of the time, right? Right here and in the beginning where you put your keywords, you definitely want to put your keywords at the top of your description, but you want to make sure they're in a natural way written for humans, because the outside search engines that are looking at your item descriptions, they want to make sure that it is written for humans and that nothing is keyword stuffed. They do not like keyword stuffing. And the more you're able to optimize for outside search engines, the more likely they are to send someone your way, which is always your goal, right? So you can very easily, it looks like this is exactly what's in your title, your item title here. You can very easily just switch this around really slightly, and then it accomplishes both including your keywords and also writing it in a natural way written for humans. So for example, you could say something like, these Halloween greetings made from a vintage Halloween pumpkin postcard are perfect for journals and scrapbooks, and also make lovely handmade gift tags for party bags. So do you see how I was saying the exact same phrases that you had here? I just worded it a little bit differently so that it was stated in a natural way. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, one thing I noticed about your tags is you are doing a little bit of repeating, which is not a bad thing. It's just that if you are able to combine some of these things, it will allow you more room for more tags. So that's always a possibility that you can consider. And then I also saw that you have Kays Vintage Cards here, and I'm wondering if that was like an old name and you kind of changed your name. So you could use the bulk editing tool on Etsy to remove all of your tags that say Kays Vintage Cards if that's not something that people are searching for you with, and maybe change it to Kays Vintage Ephemera. Hopefully that'll fit. If you wanted to make sure you had some tags that people could search for you by name. Also, you could check out the app Getvela, Getvela. That's also a really great tool to help you with things like bulk editing. Sometimes I like using it a little bit more than the Etsy editing tool because it just seems a little bit more user friendly to me, and you can do more things with it. So I'll link to that as well for you so you can check that out. And the last thing I want to say about Kay's Etsy shop just before I end this review, because I think that it largely contributes to a lot of her success thus far on Etsy, is the fact that she's narrowed in very specifically on a niche. She sells vintage ephemera, where she could be throwing all kinds of other things in too if she wanted, but she's chosen to specialize in a niche. And what that does is it just opens up so many other possibilities for you when it comes to knowing who to market to. And also it makes people much more likely to purchase multiple things from you and also come back and shop from you again, because they're going to remember, if I need, some more vintage ephemera, Kay's my girl. I'm going to go check out her shop, right? They've already had that great positive experience from her, so they're going to come back. All right, so that wraps up our review of Kay's shop. Thank you again, Kay, for volunteering your awesome shop. We definitely learned some things from you today as well. And if you, again, want to find out how to get your own review, make sure to check out the notes below where I show you exactly how. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I can keep making these awesome videos for you. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell as well so you get notified whenever a new video comes out. Thank you so much for joining me today, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!